select the one that you want, add it to your canvas. And it might take a minute to pull it in. It might take more than a minute. Alright, so this is what you get. With all your lines and all the everything. Oh, apparently I pulled it in twice. So let's just delete one of them. It pulls it in as a big old group. And hang on, I'm going to get rid of all the crap I have in front of me, and I'm just going to hold my camera because it's easier. My little stand works for showing you my Cricut, but not for showing you my computer. I got to figure something out. Alright, so this is what you get. I usually make sure it's selected, leave it grouped. Don't touch the grouping, don't unclick anything, leave it grouped, because this way it stays exactly how it should. And then I will go and I'll rotate it 90 degrees because I'm doing this on an 11 by 14. So obviously it's not going to fit on my small mat. It's going to have to go on my big mat. And then I just go to shapes, bring in a rectangle, make it a little bit lighter so I can see and send it to back. And then size it to the size of my acrylic. Which is 11 by 14. And I just select everything and center it. Scooch back a little bit. So now you can see that that gray is like my acrylic blank. We're going to group that so that way everything is all in one big huge group. We can move it, we can do anything with it, and it all stays together, which is exactly what I want it to do. Alright, and then usually I like to use the jig method that Clever Someday put together, but with the 11 by 14 you can't, because you can't print and cut that big. So I use the dummy jig method, and it has not failed me yet. You just go to shapes, grab a circle, make it 0.01, so it's just an itty bitty little thing, and set it to engrave. Make sure that you go to your project too and set it to engrave. I'm real good for forgetting that until I go to the screen and wonder why it's not telling me that I need to put my engraving tool in. Alright, and then this whole group, because of my star wheels, I have to have my 11 by 14 paper or acrylic over. So normally I would set this at 1 inch and 1 inch if it was something smaller like my 8 by 10, but I can't do that because then this will run into my star wheels and it'll be all kinds of a mess. So I normally set Y to 0. Oh, nope, sorry, X to 0. I always do that backwards. And Y to 1. And I set this little circle to 0.25 and 0.25. So this way things are on the mat as it's, what you see is what you get. Gonna select all of it and attach it. Attaching will not get rid of your engraving, even though the square is still showing as cut. It doesn't make it go away. It leaves it. You want to attach it. And then you can go in and you can get rid of your square. So now if you go to make it, because it's attached to that little circle, everything stays in the same spot on the mat. You just have to be careful in between the layers, that you don't wiggle your mat around too terribly much. So this way when it goes back in, because there's not a way that I can get it to not unload my mat. So unfortunately it has to unload my mat.